Globally, a man dies by suicide every 60 seconds, with young men and boys being particularly at risk. And I don't know about you, but I think enough already. So let's take the fight to where we can have the greatest impact. Out here on the hollow turf, where we learn team spirit, camaraderie, and the resilience needed to get through tough times together. We know that team sports has the power to positively shape the mental health of a generation, with those who get involved experiencing a 10 to 20% reduction in mental health issues. So let's harness that power with Ahead of the Game, an evidence-based program teaching mental health literacy to athletes, parents, and coaches. Taught us skills. Yeah, skills. Skills encouraging young people to connect and support each other, ensuring they prioritize their mental health as much as their physical health. And here's where you come in. Your support is vital. With you, how we deal with tough times changes forever. Seeking help and support becomes a show of strength. Helplessness becomes having people to turn to, and well-being becomes better understood. But only with your support. Help advocate for real world change. And join us today.
I'd always thought of myself as being, a good bloke and a good friend, and on
Hello, hello everyone. Morning, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you are. Sorry, this is a little bit... That's a lot better. Perfect. Hope everyone is doing well today. We're once again raising money for Movember. I forgot to pin a message for that actually. Let me just do that right now while I still have the time. Here we go. Now there's a pin message. On the Twitch side it is. There's not a pin message on the... Can I pin messages on YouTube? Probably not. If I had to guess. It's okay, the bot will probably spew the donation link every 20 minutes or so that's perfect. Yeah, we are raising money for Movember this entire month, actually. There's some pretty cool things you can redeem on here, so please consider doing this also just for like the welfare of people in general, especially mental health of men. Such an incredibly important topic these days. So important, in fact, that I forgot to open my donation tab. Probably do need to keep an eye on that in case I do get a donation in. And there's no audio. It's looking fine for now. Yeah, that's looking fine. Okay. Probably integrate a dock for that at some point. Dock on my OBS. Anyway. Today we're playing a little bit more of Tabletop Expanded Solitaire, because I wanted to show a very cool deck that I brewed up in the last few weeks. As you can see, this deck is hella proxied because I don't own these cards physically. Don't worry, there are like plenty of cards I do own in this list. I think like 20 cards in this list are proxied out of 60, something like that. And I also just noticed now that I did a proxying like badly. We can fix that in the meantime. In due time. We're running Sylveon VMAX. Sylveon VMAX is really cool. It's an evolution of a V, of course, because it's a VMAX Pokemon. It gives up 3 prizes, unfortunately, but has 310 HP for effectively being a stage 1. And this deck is all about the attack Max Harmony. That's also what the stream name is, of course. This attack does 70 damage plus 30 more damage for each different type of Pokemon on your bench. And you might be wondering, like, okay, Noah, how many Pokemon can you fit on your bench? We can fit quite a lot of them, and I'll show you with this list. And actually, question 2 might be, how the heck do we charge up the Sylveon VMAX? That's also not that hard. Don't mind me just fixing the proxies. As we speak, professional streamer, by the way. So for this deck, we discussed Sylveon VMAX already. We run 3 copies of Sylveon VMAX, and naturally also 3 copies of Sylveon V, which are also terribly proxied in my opinion. To be fair, I did all of this today, so don't be mad at me, please. I did all of this in a hurry today just so I could have a cool deck list to show off. The printing, that is. The deck cooking was done on an earlier day. Anyway, the Sylveon V, this Sylveon VMAX evolves from, is actually not that bad itself. It's a 200 HP 103 basic, which is really nice. And the ability Dream Gift says that once during your turn, you may search your deck for an item card and put it in your hand. But unfortunately then, if you use the ability, your turn ends. But this helps us a lot with consistency, especially in the early game. You'll see later on in the deck that this list does have quite a few impactful one-off items, specifically tailored around the early game being, and we can attack with, or we don't have an attack yet probably on turn 1, especially if we're going first, so that we're just vibing with a Dream Gift turn. And starting from a turn afterwards, we can start attacking. Your question might be, how do we charge up Sylveon VMAX? It's a 3 energy attack, 3 colorless. It's kind of hefty. Not really. Not really. This beautiful card that came out recently in the expansion White Flare Ignition Energy. If the card is attached to one of your Pokemon, you discard it at the end of your turn, but if you attach it to an evolution Pokemon, it provides 3 colorless energy. So slap one of these bad boys on the Sylveon VMAX and you can attack from nothing. This is basically our whole engine. As you can see, we run 4 copies of it. And if we don't deem 4 copies enough, then we also run 1 copy of Special Charge. This is an item that allows us to shuffle 2 special energy cards from our discard pile back into our deck, so we effectively have 6 uses. And I'm saying 6 uses specifically, because, let's be real, these can only be used 1 time each, the ignition energies. They discard at the end of the turn. But to be fair, if we're doing 6 one-shots, that's usually all we need, let's be honest. The Special Charge just allows us to win against a 1-prizer deck. It's more or less what I'm trying to say. And the reason why Sylveon VMAX, you might be saying like, oh, Sylveon VMAX is a little bit sus as an attacker because it gives up 3 prizes. Like, how are you ever going to get 6 uses in? Well, we have 2 copies of Ribbon Badge. This is a tool card that says if the Pokemon V this card is attached to Sylveon's name, so either Sylveon V or Sylveon VMAX, and it's knocked out by damage from an attack from our opponent's Pokemon, the player takes 1 fewer prize card, which means a Ribbon Badge Sylveon V gives up 1 prize only from attacks, and Sylveon VMAX only gives 3 prize. It only gives up 2 prizes if you have a Ribbon Badge attached to it. So, this is essentially the core of the deck. And I'll talk a little bit more about what different types of Pokemon you can put on the bench, being our draw engine. But I'll first talk about the most important supporting Pokemon, or like the most flexible of this. It's the Dragon type Pokemon, Radiant Eternatus. This is our Radiant Pokemon for the deck. It's a basic Pokemon with 170 HP, which is quite a lot of HP for like a single stage Pokemon. But with the ability Climactic Gate, when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 Pokemon VMAX and put them on your bench, then shuffle your deck. If you use this ability, your turn ends. So, if Dream Gift isn't really helping us much, we could just consider benching down Radiant Eternatus. And if we do that, we can immediately have 2 Sylveon VMAX from deck on bench, like straight away. Which is also pretty good setup. We can just entirely skip the whole Sylveon V. This is especially useful if we don't have a Sylveon V on turn 1, specifically. This is like the most important one, especially because there's no other Dragon type Pokemon in this. But we can the most important thing about this is that we can choose not to use the ability, which means our turn doesn't immediately end if we bench this, which is really nice. Now let's talk about the other draw support Pokemon, the draw support Pokemon that we have in the deck, that all conveniently have different types. So this all benefits from the Sylveon VMAX damage modifier. First and foremost, we got Crobat V, of course, Dark Acid. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hands. You can't use more than 1 Dark Acid ability each turn. That's fine because we're only playing 1 copy. Second of all, my camera is Q? No, it's not. Okay. The Dedenne-GX, the date change, says after you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may discard your hand and draw 6 cards. It's the same as Crobat, but you discard your hand and draw 6 rather than drawing until 6. Also, 1 data change per turn, that's fine, we only have 1 Dedenne. Next, we have Squawkabilly-EX, which says, once during your first turn, you may discard your hand and draw 6 cards, but you can't use more than 1 Squawkensees. That's fine, we only have 1. As you can see, we got Dragon, Darkness, Lightning, and Colorless. These are all different types, which means they all individually boost max harmony from Sylveon, which is really, really nice. Also have a Kricketune V. I don't own this one, chat, I'm sorry. As you can see, the Ribbon Badges, the Sylveon VMAXs, and the Kricketune so far are proxy. There's a few more proxies in here, but I do own most of the trainer cards, I would say. But let's be honest, like, Ribbon Badge that's literally a card that's made for this archetype and not much else, honestly. So Kricketune V has the ability, once during your turn you may draw cards until you have 3 cards in your hand. Not on play, just once per turn. But if it's in the active spot, have 4. You can draw until 4 cards in your hand. Also, not more than 1 exciting stage per turn. So once again, another great draw support. We might as well continue talking about the other Pokemon that have different types. Because why not? We have a Solrock and Lunatone pair that boost each other if the other is in play. But not the one from Mega Evolution, because we don't run Fighting Energy. We run a slightly different pair that's it just says like general good stuff for us. It doesn't necessarily help us in every matchup, but at least it does something, which is really, really nice. So the Solrock has 90 HP and the ability Resistance Shade. If you have Lunatone in play, your opponent's Pokemon in play have no resistance. I'm not entirely sure what meta-relevant Psychic type Pokemon have what meta-relevant Pokemon have a Psychic resistance at the moment, but it's never harmful to have this, and it's a Fighting type, so it's a different type from all the other types we have here. Now Lunatone is a Psychic type, so that might overlap with like a Sylveon V on the bench, but this has the ability New Moon, also 90 HP, that if you have Solrock in play, prevent all effects of any stadium done to your Pokemon in play. Which means, this mostly means that cards like Path to the Peak or Silent Lab won't affect us at all. Actually, Silent Lab will affect us, right? Yeah. No, Silent Lab won't affect us. Yeah. Cards like Silent Lab, Path to the Peak, those are like the biggest ones. Wondrous Labyrinth is also somewhat relevant, I guess. Yeah, that's actually pretty relevant, never mind. Yeah, so once again, doesn't really harm us in any situation, but it definitely helps us in certain ones. Next up, a Pokemon that covers both the fire and the water type is Volcanion-EX. This is a 2-price Pokemon that is fire and water type, and that's actually the only thing that matters about this card. There's a lot of cool text about this on this card that is probably useful in any other deck, but not in this one, Chief. This is just here to double dip on typings that we don't have yet. To easily, by benching this, we boost the damage of Sylveon VMAX by 60, so by 30. So that's really relevant. And for the astute viewers, you have noticed 2 types that have not been mentioned yet. Mention them right now. First and foremost, the metal type has not been mentioned yet. For that, we have a Genesect from Shrouded Fable with the ability, if this Pokemon has a Pokemon tool attached, your opponent can't play any A-Spec cards from their hand. This is just, once again, general good stuff. Doesn't really matter if we find the tool in certain matchups, but if we do find the tool, it's only going to be beneficial for us. And last but not least, the only type that we don't have, well, it's technically not in Standard even, this type, but it technically still exists in Expanded. It's the Fairy type. And for the Fairy type, I just picked out Mr. Mime. This is a bench barrier Mr. Mime that prevents my bench Pokemon from attacks, from damage. It prevents damage being dealt to my bench Pokemon by attacks. Just, once again, general good stuff. And that's basically all the different typings we can double dip into for the Sylveon VMAX attack. Yo, Ben, hello. Hope you're doing well. It's going pretty well. We're raising money for Movember this month. Or I should say, most importantly, we're raising awareness for men's mental health this month through the veins of Movember. And I figured, why not do my regular stream stuff along that? There are some goals and milestones and stuff on the way. I figured, if I'm gonna start doing like very different content, that's not what the people are here for. So we're just doing the same thing we usually do with maybe a few cool extra bonuses. Okay, anyway, as you can... So, Max Harmony does damage based on the different types of Pokemon that are on your bench, but sadly, bench space is like only 5 maximum, so why are we running all these different types of Pokemon? Well, that's because Skyfield exists. Skyfield is a stadium that reads that each player can have 8 Pokemon on his or her bench instead of 5. So this means that we suddenly have room for, well, there's currently, what is it, like 10 support Pokemon here. We suddenly have room for 8 of them instead of just 5 of them, which changes the game completely. Hold on, let me just stack it like this. So it's still visible. Yeah. This changes the game completely. And instead of our maximum damage being... Hold on, I need to calc. Instead of the max damage being 250 that we can hit, with this we can hit up to 340 damage with one swing. And that does actually KO most Pokemon in formats. Whereas 250 is like mostly shy for like a lot of different Pokemon. Anyway, this is kind of like the general setup of the deck. So now we'll go into like trainers that make this all possible. So for our Ball Search, we run 4 copies of Quick Ball. Quick Ball is an item that we can play to search our deck for a basic Pokemon to put in our hands, but we have to discard 1 other card from our hands in order to use this. Once again, a staple in most expanded decks, not gonna lie. We also run 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Most of you probably know this card, but Ultra Ball. Search your deck for a Pokemon, reveals it and puts it into your hand. Not limited to basics, but you have to discard 2 other cards from your hand in order to use this. Alright. And our last card for Ball Search, quote unquote, we do run 1 copy of Battle VIP Pass. It's mostly because this is mostly here because I can't run 5 Quick Balls. Ideally I do want to run 5 Quick Balls, but this can be a nest ball if you don't like Battle VIP Pass. But Battle VIP Pass, search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and puts them on your bench, but can only be played during the first turn of the game. There's not really an efficient way to help search for this other than Dream Gift, but if you use Dream Gift, your turn ends, so it's not the first turn anymore. So like I said, this card is very contentious, very up for debate. You can run other cards. You can run like second Special Charge if you want, or any other thing. And then, to find our Ribbon Badges more efficiently, we run 1 copy of Adventure Bag. This is very useful to be sought out with Dream Gift, because Adventure Bag is an item that lets us search our deck for 2 Pokemon Tool cards and put them into our hand. Well, let me just check one thing real quick. Yeah. Okay. Technically, this is also part of Ball Search. Hisui Heavy Ball is technically part of Ball Search. Technically. Let's be honest. But Hisui Heavy Ball is mostly here for price checking. If we do prize like an important basic that we want to use, like Volcanion-EX, or any other basic that happens to help us a lot in the matchup, then hey, Hisui Heavy Ball is our friend, because we get, if we play this, we get to swap this card with one of the basic Pokemon that's in the prizes. Can be incredibly useful. Our aspect of choice for this list, because we are so reliant on having Stadium in play, is going to be Secret Box. Secret Box is an item that can play, but only if we discard 3 other cards from our hands, but then we get to search our deck for an item, a tool, a supporter, and a Stadium. 1 of every trainer card. Incredibly powerful card, especially if you can just search it out with Dream Gift from Sylveon V. Alright, now for some supporters, or let's say now for some draw supporters. We're running a very thin line of draw support, but that's mostly because we're a VS Seeker build. Every deck is a VS Seeker build in Expanded these days, but that doesn't matter. We run 1 copy of Colress. Colress shuffles our hand into our deck and then draws cards. Then draws cards equal to the number of bench Pokemon, both ours and our opponents. So, since we probably mostly have 8 Pokemon on our bench, it's at least a shuffle draw 8, probably more. We also run 1 copy of Colress Tenacity, which is a short deck for a Stadium and energy cards. Incredibly powerful to search for Skyfield plus Ignition Energy if we don't have that set up yet. We have 1 copy of Iono to shuffle both players' hands, put them on the bottom of the deck, and then draw cards equal to prizes. This one is a standard staple. And then we have Marnie to do the exact same thing, but instead of reliance on prizes, you draw 5 and your opponent draws 4. much more disruptive in the early game. Now for our recovery options, we are running quite a bit of recovery. We're running 2 copies of Rescue Stretcher. Rescue Stretcher is a card that allows us to either put a Pokemon from our discard pile into our hands, or shuffle 3 Pokemon from our discard pile into our deck. It's a very versatile card. And this can give us exactly what we need in a pinch, or not. Or it can just be a mass shuffling back. It's a very versatile card. And like I said, we also run 2 copies of Versus Seeker. This is an item card that allows us to put a supporter from our discard pile into our hands, which is why we run thin lines of supporters, because we can just use Versus Seeker to search more. I'm starting to notice that I'm gonna run out of room on this page. On my playmats. I'm gonna be sliding things in here a little bit. Hope everything's still visible. Okay. And the final recovery card that we run is 1 copy of Roseanne's Backup. This is a supporter that allows us to shuffle a Pokemon tool, Stadium, and an energy card from our discard pile into our deck. Technically allowing us to actually go up to 7 uses of Ignition Energy. Really, really sick. Alright, now we also run quite a bit of cards for mobility. First and foremost, 2 copies of Float Stone. Like, we already run Adventure Bag, why not run Float Stone? This card is crazy anyway. The Pokemon this card is attached to has no retreat cost. This is really, really nice to put onto either Genesect or Kricketune V, because they either need tools or they need the active spot a lot. We also have our form of Gust in the 2 Guzmas, which is a supporter that allows us to switch one of our opponent's bench Pokemon with their active, but also switch for us. It's really, really nice. And then also 1 copy of Escape Rope, which does the same thing on an item, but your opponent chooses which Pokemon they push up. This is all our forms of mobility, just so that we're never retreat lock stuck. Sylveon VMAX does have true retreat cost, and some of our supporting Pokemon have potentially more, like Volcanion. It's very, very relevant. Now, for some consistency, we do run 1 copy of 4 Sealstone. We have 2 V Pokemon in the deck. Oh, we actually have more, because we have the Sylveon V VMAX. I didn't realize that. We have a lot of V Pokemon, so 4 Sealstone is going to be our V-Star power of choice. So just search our deck for any cards. And all we need to do for that is to attach this to a Pokemon V. Really, really useful, and it's straight up like a computer search. This card is probably better than computer search, if I'm going to be honest. Let's be real. Then we also have 1 copy of Salvatore. Salvatore searches our deck for a card that has no abilities and evolves from one of our Pokemon and puts it on that Pokemon to evolve it. But you can use this to cheat evolution. So if we have no Sylveon VMAX in play, you don't have to wait a turn to attack. We can just bench down a Sylveon V and place Salvatore on it. If there's a Sylveon VMAX in our deck, it just immediately evolves into that. Really, really nice. We also have 1 copy of Field Blower. This is a classic. Field Blower discards up to 2 tools or stadium cards in play. Really, really useful for certain pesky tools or stadiums that we can't seem to get rid of in some way or another, especially like Chaotic Swell. This is mostly here for Chaotic Swell, if you're wondering. Then we also have 1 copy of Pokémon Ranger. Pokémon Ranger is a supporter that reads that it removes all effective attacks on each player and his or her Pokemon. This is especially useful. God, this card is so... the sleeve is so dirty, bro. I think... yeah, it's mostly fine now. The 2 use cases where this is most useful is, I think, it's one of Noivern-EX's attacks that says that we can't play Special Energy anymore. That's a big one, but also Badu, which says we can't play items anymore. That's an even bigger one, but both are like equally dangerous for our deck. So we do have a Pokemon Ranger in here. We have 1 copy of Big Parasol. Big Parasol gives all our bench Pokemon... no, sorry. As long as the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot, it prevents all effective attacks from your opponent's Pokemon down to all of your Pokemon. This is really useful to, for example, shield yourself from, once again, Itchy Pollen. Actually, no, it doesn't stop Itchy Pollen. It does stop other effects if it affect the Pokemon, but not me. And then, for the astute viewers, there are indeed 2 cards missing from this deck. And those 2 cards are the Jirachi Prism Star Peonia combo. Jirachi Prism Star has an ability that says that if it's taken as a face-down prize card, and we have a bench spot free, we get to bench it and take 1 more prize, which is really, really nice. And for that, we have Peonia, which says that we can put up to 3 prize cards into our hand, and then for each prize card we put into our hand in this way, put a card from your hand face down as a prize card, and it doesn't shuffle the prize cards afterwards. So if we do this while Jirachi is in our hand, we get to choose which of our prize cards become Jirachi Prism Star, which means we have agency over what prize we're taking specifically. So this is the entire list of 60 cards. If there's any questions, feel free to ask them now or whilst we're playing. Either of the 2 is fine. I'm gonna take a sip of water, but if you want the deck list, feel free to screenshot it now. It's also in the YouTube. It's also in the description of the YouTube stream. So if you're wondering on that part, you can check out the YouTube stream in the description. It's right there. Just a copy and paste link. But without further ado, let's start. I'm gonna give you guys like 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we're gonna shuffle this up and see how it plays. We're gonna check how fluent this deck actually is. I'm really hesitant about the Battle VIP Pass, but to be fair, I could not think of a better 60 of cards there. This Nest Ball feels kind of like mid, you know what I mean? Sometimes it just feels mid, and you can see a lot of cards in your first turn if you use Dedenne, Crobat, Squawk, and Kricketune. You can see a lot of cards in one turn, so it's not unlikely that you're seeing Battle VIP Pass, of course. Let's also grab our V-Star marker. And we have, of course, our dice ready. Our damage dice, but also mostly the dice to track opponents' prizes. Alright. Shuffle, shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle. Let's flip a coin to see if we're going first or second. Ideally, this deck always wants to go first. So I think I will actually flip 2 coins, and if they're both tails, I'll go second, but otherwise I will go first. Okay, that is heads. So we actually do win the coin flip. So let's go first. I'm saying this because most of the decks in Expanded right now want to go either first or second. That's kind of like a flip. So... Yo, Sen, hello, welcome in. You do see your logo up here. This is indeed the one and only Creator Kugov playmat. I love using this one for solitaire deck videos. It's so fun to use. Hope you're doing well, my man. Thank you for checking out. Alright, let's see what our opening hand is looking like. Oh, we have at least one Sylveon V. That is an excellent card to start with. We also have a Sylveon VMAX and a Skyfield. Since we are going first, the Marnie is a little awkward, but that's fine. It kind of relies on our top deck what we're going to do, but it's looking like a Dream Gift turn. So let's lay down our prizes. Same brother, hell yeah. And let's open it up and draw a card for turn. That is a quick ball. That is a really good quick ball. Holy shit, that top deck goes hard. We definitely bench at least another Sylveon here. We definitely put the Skyfield in play for sure. I think at this point, probably quick ball away to Marnie so that we can price check. But like I say every time on this channel, price checking is boring, so I'll just flip open my prizes. So our prizes are Sylveon V, Adventure Bag, Volcanion-EX, Skyfield VS Seeker, and Volcanion being priced kind of stinks actually. but that's completely... It's doable for sure. We don't have Float Stone in our hand, right? Or a way to find Float Stone? No. So Kricketune is a little awkward here. I'm tempted to just go grab a Crobat V here to see what else we can draw. I'm not quite sure if I want to go all in. You know what? We can go all in. Let's go grab the Dedenne. Let's see what this deck is capable of. We do want to test what this deck is capable of, right? So let's try to go all in on this turn 1 going first. And go quick ball for the Dedenne. It does mean that we have to discard our VS Seeker in hand, and the other VS Seeker is priced, so we don't have access to VS Seeker for at least this first turn of the game, but like I said, supporters are not going to happen this first turn of the game anyway. So, our opponent hasn't had a turn yet, so Field Blower also doesn't do anything. Discarding Sylveon VMAX is like, fine, it's whatever. So let's bench down Dedenne-GX and trigger the Dedenne change to discard our hand and draw 6 cards. Since we're going to go Skyfield, I'll make some room on my bench already. Go 6 fresh cards from the Dedenne change. Okay, let's see. We do find Battle VIP Pass. That's probably like the biggest find here. Hello, Sam. Hello. Were you cooking with the Fairy Break Rabombi interaction? I think you are. It's definitely interesting for sure. Alright, let's think. What are we going to grab from the Battle VIP Pass? I definitely want to grab Squawkabilly, that's for certain. Actually, is our hand something that we want to fully discard at this point? It does have Jirachi Prism Star in this. Means we can't Prism Star cheat. That's really unfortunate. So I think maybe we hold off on the Squawkabilly. Maybe we just get Solrock Lunatone, maybe? Kricketune feels pretty good actually to grab here. And I guess we can go... Well, Radiant Eternatus is a little overkill at this point, because we already have 2 Sylveon V set up. So I think we kind of go Genesect Kricketune V here. You have a Gust-proof Pokemon catcher every turn, plus it confuses. Yeah. So stage 4, but still sounds kind of good. It sounds alright, for sure. Definitely doesn't sound terrible. You have Special Charge here and Rescue Stretcher. Rescue Stretcher can only recover Sylveon VMAX at this point in time, so it's not great. It's good for next turn, that's for sure. We unfortunately do not have a tool to attach to the Genesect. But I'm tempted to empty my hand a little bit so I do get some more value from this Crobat. So what I think I will do is I will Rescue Stretcher the Sylveon back into the deck. That's for certain. I can't really play the other cards from my hand, so let's shuffle. You think if they print a Xerneas that has a decent ability from the bench, the interaction gets way stronger? Yeah, but of course they don't print fairy type Pokemon anymore. That's kind of the problem, isn't it? That is kind of the problem. Yeah, that's the whole point. Alright. We're all shuffled up. So let's play the Crobat V and trigger its Dark Acid to draw until we have 6 cards in hand. We have 3 in hand currently, so we are drawing 1, 2, 3 cards extra. We'd find Squawk anyway. Fuck that guy, bro. The Ribbon Badge is a really nice find, because this allows us to have a little bit of a safer setup in case our opponent does pop off. I'm not sure if I want to bench the Squawk. If our Skyfield does get bumped, then we are still kind of safe. We're kind of bench locked, but still. So I think for now what I'll do is I'll use Dream Gift. Search our deck for an item card. It does end our turn, but that's okay. So the question is, do we want Secret Box? Is our hand discardable enough for Secret Box? Our hand is a little awkward. It's not really secret boxable. You put a Fairy Break over a Psychic type to retain your Rubombi interaction, yeah. But it does mean that there is one turn where you're not safe from the Rubombi interaction. So we can still technically get things like Quick Ball or Ultra Ball. That is a possibility. Do I want to grab Hisuian Heavy Ball just so we can get Sylveon out of the Volcanion out of prizes? I think that's a better call. I think we grab Hisuian Heavy Ball here from the Dream Gifts. Okay, so I don't know what the matchup is. I have not decided on what matchup we're going to play against, but how likely is it for them to KO turn 1 going second, do a 200 damage KO on me? Like, unless they're playing Raging Bolt, that's not very likely. I mean, if we consider the Regidrago matchup, they can definitely get like a solid Regidrago V attack, a Dragon Laser. Do 130 here. And then 30 to one of our bench Pokemon. That is most likely gonna be trying to put something into Timeless GX range, so it's either Kricketune, Crobat, or Dedenne, probably Kricketune, since that's the only one that has an in-play effect. Okay, let's draw for turn. We draw Quick Ball, huge, okay. We're gonna do Hisuian Heavy Ball for the Volcanion. And we're gonna put down the Volcanion. Do we actually need to put down this Volcanion? Let's think. What we're definitely going to do is we're going to evolve into Sylveon VMAX and attach an Ignition Energy here. That's 100% what we're gonna do. So how much damage do we do with Max Harmony? We have 5 different types of Pokemon on the bench. That means we do 220 damage. Yeah. 220 is enough to KO Regidrago V. So I think it's probably better if we just chill here. And then maybe next turn we pop off with... Next turn we pop off with a potential Volcanion bench. I think that's probably the best course of action. So let's swing with Max Harmony to KO that Regidrago V. And there's a pretty good chance, a 1 in 3 chance that I get my Sylveon V out of the prizes here. I don't get it, unfortunately. So I get VS Seeker Ultra Ball. That's still very nice. VS Seeker is a big one. And of course, at the end of the turn, the Ignition Energy gets discarded. So if they don't have a Regidrago set up, it's gonna be probably very hard for them to set up another Regidrago here. But let's say they do. Let's say they do. If they do set up a Regidrago here, then I KO it again, it's gonna be really, really hard for them to come back. So let's consider them potentially just grabbing a natural KO with, like, I don't know, Phantom Dive or... Trifrost doesn't work here, because this has 180 HP left. Let's say they just use, like, a 300 damage move to KO this. They go down to 4 prizes as well. This goes to discards. Whoopsie, my bad. I'll push Sylveon V. Let's draw a card for turn. Honestly, at this point they probably bump Skyfield as well, so... Not that that matters. Not that that matters, because we just stopped that Colress. So let's go use Colress to grab Ignition plus Skyfield. Should be still 2 more Skyfields in deck. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Honestly, I think Shuffling here is useless because I do have a Quick Ball and Ultra Ball, and I probably want to use at least one of them. Yeah, that's fine. Shuffling was a little superfluous, but that's okay. Put down the Sky Field. Attach Ignition here for sure. Definitely bench Volcanion. What am I looking for? I'm specifically looking for Sylveon VMAX here. So I think my best course of action is to go Ultra Ball away the Special Charge and the Squawkabilly. Yeah, this is probably the best course of action. Ultra Ball those away for the Sylveon VMAX. And then I still do need another basic Pokemon. So I guess we're not shuffling anyway, because at this point in time we are doing how much damage? 70, 100, 130, 60, 190, 220, 250. Yeah, 250 is not enough. Wait, no, then I should have discarded Quick Ball, not the Squawk, because I can now bench the Squawk, and we are doing 280 to the Regidrago V-Star, which is perfect. Swing for KO. Right. The unfortunate part about this setup is that we don't have another Sylveon setup. Maybe it was better to keep the Quick Ball and go for a Sylveon setup. I think that was potentially actually better. That's okay. I got Adventure Bag and Sylveon V out of prizes. Ignition Energy gets discarded at the end of the turn. I'm now down 2 Ignitions, right? Yeah, that's fine. So, they're probably out of commission for a turn, but let's assume they are not. This is like worst case scenario. They delete Sylveon VMAX going down to 1 prize. So let's push up Kricketune V. Draw a card for turn. Bench down the Sylveon V. Play Adventure Bag to get Float Stone, at the very least. Maybe another tool to thin out. You can get Big Parasol, probably. It's probably best to get a Ribbon Badge, question mark. Here we go. Alright. Let's attach the Float Stone here. The Ribbon Badge here. I mean, my opponent's on 1 prize anyway, so the Ribbon Badge actually does not matter. Now, we do have 2 Sylveon VMAX in the discard pile, and the third one is in hand, so ideally I do actually find like things like Salvatore Rescue Stretcher. Fortunately, Salvatore is not an option here. I have a VS Seeker in hand, but the only supporter in my discard pile are Marnie and Force's Tenacity. I think in that case, actually, I should have... Do I have a Zero Retreat Pokemon? I do not. Yeah, I do not, unfortunately. Zero Retreat Pokemon. That's unfortunate. Anyway, I think I do have the VS Seeker for Marnie. And then play the Marnie. Actually, before... No, we have to do this before. Because we need a lot of pieces. Let's draw 5. So we do find Quick Ball. Let's think. Let's Quick Ball Roseanne's back up. No, let's Quick Ball Big Parasol. What do we want to Quick Ball for? Probably Mr. Mime. Actually, we quick ball for Radiant Eternatus. Yeah, for sure. That's what we can do. Or sorry, no, I did fuck up the order. I knew I fucked up something. We do quick ball for Mr. Mime. The reason for that, I dropped my hands on the ground. Give me a second. Give me a quick second. Yeah. The reason we quick ball for Mr. Mime is so that we can Ultra Ball away Mr. Mime and then one other Pokemon. One other card, sorry. Let's say Roseanne's back up to get the Radiant Eternatus. And the reason we're doing it in this order is so that we draw one more off of Kricketune V. Because Kricketune V, we can now use Exciting Dance to draw until we have 4 cards in our hands. And this is really awkward, this Sylveon VMAX. Because what I wanted it to do, I guess I'll show it right here, is to bench the Radiant Eternatus and trigger its climactic gate to end our turn by searching our deck for 2 VMAX Pokemon to bench. But that Sylveon VMAX that we just found was the last Sylveon VMAX in the deck. So that's really, really awkward. So I guess we're not using this guy. I guess we're not using that guy, because I know this. We're just benching it, not using it. That means we're gonna use Gift to end our turn instead. Actually, do I want to use Dream Gifts, or do I just want to retreat into something else? The thing is, my opponent only needs 1 prize, which is really awkward. So, technically should retreat into Sylveon V because that has the highest HP, and then use Dream Gifts. And we need to have 1 turn where they don't actually fucking murder me, because they've done so every single turn. Let's grab Secret Box as our item for turn. As our item from Dream Gift. That's end of turn. Let's hope they missed a KO somehow. For example, with a Dragon Laser, then this turn we could Sylveon VMAX, Ignition Energy, and swing for win. But if we don't have that luxury, we should look for an Escape Rope. So we currently have 7 Pokemon on the bench, so we draw at least 7 from this Colress, but surely they have like at least 2 other Pokemon on bench. Let's say they have 2 other Pokemon on bench, so we draw 9 off this Colress. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We do find Escape Rope, so we can play Escape Rope. Switch you to active. Unfortunately, I already played supporter for turn, but I can like thin the deck out a little bit by Ultra Balling away Peonia and Salvatore. Or Lunatone. Lunatone is indeed a unique species on the bench if I bench it, but I'll bench Solrock just in case. We can fit our hand even more by Ultra Balling away Lunatone, Ranger, and then not grabbing anything, and then drawing 2 more cards from Exciting Stage. Our deck is actually pretty thin, not gonna lie. 1, 2, yeah, see? We even find the ignition naturally here. Anyway, let's go for a retreat. And attack with Max Harmony for 70 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 30, which is 340. No. Yeah, 340 damage. Did I miscount the first time? No, this is 8 bench. Yeah. That's definitely enough to KO a Regidrago V-Star. Like I said, if the Regidrago V-Star player, if the Regidrago player does like everything right and has no hiccups whatsoever, we don't win against that. But that makes sense. That's the best deck in format by a long mile. That's the best deck in format by a long shot. So it really makes sense. Alright. Now let's once again flip 2 coins, and if both of them are tails, I'll do a game going second, but ideally we always want to go first. That is a heads already, so let's do another game going first. Just to emulate the fact that if we win the coin flip, we always choose first, but if we lose the coin flip, our opponent might still choose second. Very much possible. Actually, there's an ad going to be playing soon, so I will play that right now, so we can also have a little bit of a highlight on Movember and all the possibilities with that. So if you please could watch this video, I would greatly appreciate it.
I'd always thought of myself as being, you know, a good bloke and a good friend. And on reflection, if I was really honest, I perhaps wasn't always the best that I could have been. I find it difficult when things get serious, and I tend to shy away from those difficult conversations. And in the past, I've made light of those and made a joke, and it's not right. And I wouldn't want someone to do it to me. So it was time to grow up. I have a friend, and he'd told me through a text message that he was having a difficult time at home. I was terrified of the conversation that I knew I had to have, and I knew that I needed a bit of help to be able to talk about that. So I checked out Movember Conversations, and it helped me to make a phone call, have a conversation, be empathetic, and just be a good friend. It's an animated conversation and it's multiple choice, so if your friend said this to you, how would you react? You click on one of the answers, and if there's a better way of having that conversation, it will prompt you to say, well, that's good, but maybe you could do this, or maybe you could think about that. In practice, it went well, much better than I thought. It wasn't this huge, crushing conversation that brought the tone down or made us awkward with each other. It brought a new dynamic to our friendship, I think. Knowing that we've created a safe space where he can be himself and he can be vulnerable, it gave me the confidence to know that I could have that conversation and it was going to be okay. So I'm not sure I'd have been brave enough without it. I'd always thought of myself as being...
Alright, thanks for sticking with me through this. Let me just prepare the next video for the next ad break. Yeah. Turn this on again. But once again, please do consider donating if you have a little money to spare, especially to such a good cause like this. Like I said, I'm trying to do these in ad breaks so that I don't actually like disrupt the content. I probably will at some point. Let's be completely honest. Let's be completely transparent. I'm a sellout for this fucking... I'm a sellout for this company. Like anything I can do to make this company, or to get more donations for Movember, I should say, I probably will. Not that I can do everything, of course. There's lots of things that are not in my power, but... And of course also not lots of things that are like not in my mental well-being, let's be honest. But there are a lot of things I will be willing to do to raise money for Movember. It's such a neat cause, and it's an especially incredibly important topic today. 100%. Alright. We did say we have another game going first, right? Alright, so let's lay out the prizes. Or the prizes? The opening hands. Let's see what we have here. Oh my god, we start to, there's only 3 Sylveon V in this deck. Why am I consistently starting 2 of these blokes? That's awesome. I love that. Love every single bit of that. Let's flip it over and start our turn. And we top deck a Ribbon Badge. Ain't that great. Dude, this is fucking awesome. Definitely put down the Skyfield, definitely put down the Sylveon V. I think I'm gonna Ribbon Badge the Sylveon V on the bench? Question mark. Yeah, that probably makes the most sense. Let's bench Lunatone, attach Float Stone here. I want to keep this tool spot open. If I want to keep that tool spot open, I'm probably quick balling for something else. I'm definitely quick balling to discard the Ignition. Check our prices. It's Float Stone, Colress, Skyfield, Special Charge, Squawk, Sylveon VMAX. Squawk is kind of unfortunate, but that's okay. We can deal with it. Let's go grab a Dedenne. I think the Dedenne is awesome here. You have returned for another 5 minutes. Are you in classes, Sam? Are you in classes? As if so, that's kind of unfortunate. Sorry. Alright. We have the Dedenne and Float Stone in hand. Let's just attach the Float Stone to the Lunatone and rip the Dedenne change to just draw 6 cards, because we don't have any cards in hand. Haha. Okay, we draw into another Skyfield. That's a little overkill. Radiant Eternatus is interesting. Definitely bench the Volcanion here if we can. Just make a little bit of room. Bench. It's turn 1 going first. We're definitely Ultra Balling away the Skyfield and the Sylveon. So Ultra Balling away Sylveon is fine here because there's Sylveon VMAX priced, although it's probably preferential if we do the Ranger now. Dual type Volcanion in the bench with the... Yeah, because Max Harmony does damage based on how many different types of Pokemon you have on the bench. So the question is, do we grab Solrock here? I preferably actually get Crobat here, just another hyper aggro drawing guy. And unfortunately I haven't found the Hisuian Heavy Ball to get the Squawk, but that's okay. It's Rainbow Road, yeah baby. It's Rainbow Road. This is not expanded. Or sorry, this is expanded. It's not Commander. Alright. Yeah, I wanted to not be glare on this guy. There we go. So discard these 3 cards. Crobat goes to hands. I think we are benching the Sylveon. Not sure on the Sylveon V. I think we're just ripping the Crobat to draw 4 cards. Holy shit, bro. We find and Genesect and Guzma. There's 7 Pokemon on bench. I'm happy with benching this other Sylveon V then, if we are this high on bench already. Yeah, and that means that we can also end our turn with a Dream Gift, potentially. I think that's what we're gonna have to do, actually. Search our deck for an item card. Put it into our hand. Do we grab Adventure Bag to grab Ribbon Badge Big Parasol, or Ribbon Badge for Seal Stone? I think Adventure Bag is good, but I'm not sure if Secret Box is better or not. Forces Nasty is still in deck, so Versus Seeker is no good. I think I will grab Adventure Bag, just so I have the option to potentially grab like Colress Tenacity, or whatever. Iron Treads is obviously in the deck. No, Iron Treads is not in the deck. As you can see, I'm running like Solrock Lunatone stuff. with Genesect. I know, not optimal. Whoa. I could potentially consider that. It is a really funny one, the Iron Threads. Bro doesn't have the other dual type basic. I could potentially make a build to include that, but I would probably have to think about whether I still want to include the Solrock and Lunatone, which are definitely really good in this deck. Don't get me wrong. Alright, so that's turn 1 ends. Let's assume they can't take prize here. I think that's fairly reasonable. Let's I think what I want to do is probably actually VMAX here, then Adventure back, or Ribbon Badge for Sealstone. Guess it depends where you top out for damage. I top out at 340. I top out at 340 if I have Volcanion and then 7 other different types of Pokemon on the bench. At the moment I don't, because I have 3 Psychic type Pokemon on the bench, but... So right now, if we would do the damage, we would be at, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 30 is 210, plus 70 is 280. And 280 is still KOs a lot of relevant targets. Alright. So, 4 Sealstone onto the Crobat for sure. Actually, it might not have been smart to... I think it's not smart to grab Ribbon Badge here. I think it's better to grab Float Stone here. So we can have something to attach to... Oh, my second Float Stone is prized. Right. So I think my only other option is that Ribbon Badge. No, it's Big Parasol, okay. But I can still grab Big Parasol. It's probably better to attach something to the Genesect here, that my opponent can't play Ace-Specs. You see, optimal would be Kecleon React Energy. Yeah, but that's not in Expanded. That's not in Expanded, that's Eternal stuff. And I have been thinking of like making a commander deck for that. I haven't really gotten past the brainstorming phase on it, but it's maybe interesting. It's potentially very interesting. Alright. And at this point, we have to kind of quick ball away the... Well, actually, we don't have to do anything here. Because what I can do is I can Guzma up something on their bench, a juicy 2-prizer, push this forward, and then use 4 Sealstone to find myself the Ignition Energy that was on the bottom. I think that's a big brain move. I think that's probably the best move we can do here. And then we still have Quick Ball, Radiant Eternatus in hands. Oh wait, I never forgot to remove that one. Yeah, so we're doing 280 to something on the bench. I mean, surely that's a 2-prizer that we gusted up. Hello there, Cod Moxley, welcome in, hope you're doing well. So let's grab 2 prizes to take here. Bam! Which prize did we take? We took Float Stone at least, and Special Charge. Nice, okay. Those are actually good prizes. Okay, so at the end of turn, Ignition Energy gets discarded because of its properties. And then, what do we expect opponent to do during their turn? I think surely they'll be grabbing a KO here, right? Surely they're grabbing KO here. How many hits did I get from packs? We're not really a pack opening channel here at the moment, but to be fair, my hit rate from real life packs is usually atrocious. It's usually so goddamn bad. It's not even funny. It's usually like probably like 1 EX every 5 packs or so. No, it's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. I love answering this question. Dude, I wish my backlog was a little better. But we're mostly a gameplay focused channel here, actually. So, as you can see, there are some proxy cards in here, but we are mostly focused on the expanded format, which is a format allows all cards released from the black and white base set. So that's a set that came out in 2013 at this point, up until now, minus a few cards on the ban list. And we're just trying to kind of like theory craft funny lists together. That's usually what this channel is. And on Saturday or Sunday, we play a little bit of an alternate format with other friends. Anyway, we got these as prizes. What will our opponent... Surely they have like a knockout on something, right? And probably the most impactful thing they can knock out is Sylveon VMAX, but that grabs them 2 prizes because of the Ribbon Badge instead of 3. I think, let's just say that they do that. Which puts them on 4 prizes. I will keep track of that. Okay, like if you open packs from a specific evolution, that really depends. It's hard to say for sure. For me, at least. Alright, let's just promote the Lunatone because it has free retreat thanks to the Float Stone anyway, and draw a card for turn. We do find a Solrock, which is probably ideal to bench here. Although I have to think about backup. And the backup is, like, if I attack with Sylveon VMAX this turn, and they still manage to KO that one as well, then what do I do? Oh wait, I have 2 Sylveon on bench. No, we're good, we're good. I can just bench the Solrock right here, pretty scot-free. Yeah, and there's only 1 Sylveon VMAX in discard and 1 in prizes. So I do need to find the one that's chilling in the deck somewhere. Fortunately, I don't really think I have a way to find anything here. I will quick ball away the Float Stone just to check. I don't think I have any outs for like any means of draw because I burned it all on the first turn. I think that might be a little bit of a lesson. Oh wait, I have Kricketune, so it does hurt me to bench the... Dude, I am so stupid. I am so stupid. I should have never benched that Solrock. Let's pretend we didn't bench the Solrock. Let's just bench down the Kricketune. Play the Special Charge, so because I think we do have at least 1 Ignition in the discard. Yeah, we even have 2 Ignition in the discards. So playing Special Charge allows us to shuffle those 2 back into the deck. Thank you, thank you. I love these. I love these pink sleeves. They're so cute. As you can see, they're kind of starting to meet their end if you look at the top. But so like I can't use these for official tournaments anymore, unfortunately. But I do like to use these for stream. Just because they're so nice to look at, especially if you're playing a Sylveon deck. Like you kind of have to. But I've been using these sleeves for months on stream, so that's completely fine. The question is, do we use Exciting Stage now and draw 1? Or do we retreat into the Kricketune and draw 2? Wait, I kind of fucked up by quick balling away the Float Stone, didn't I? Yeah, it's probably way better to quick ball away the Radiant Eternatus. Oh, and the Special Charge was played. Because that means I can Float Stone this, and I draw even 1 more card now. But then, do I use Exciting Stage now? Well, ideally I haven't attacked this turn, so I think I do use it now to just draw 2. There's Ultra Ball, Quick Ball. I mean, the Ultra Ball gets me somewhere, but not everywhere, unfortunately. Grab me a Sylveon VMAX, but still lack the energy to attack. Hell yeah, Strategic. Hello, hope you're doing well. What is this expanded awesomeness? This deck is what I like to call Rainbow Road. I love this list. I'll let you read the attack from Sylveon. As you can see, this is a proxied Sylveon. I don't actually own this card, but it's fun to test around with. This Sylveon VMAX is the attack. Max Harmony for 3 colorless energy. It does 70 damage, but this attack does 30 more damage for each different type of Pokemon on your bench. So, our bench is all sorts of different type of Pokemon, even Pokemon with 2 types, like this Volcanion-EX over here. There's even a fairy type here, Mr. Mime. Hell yeah. That's like the idea of this deck. Unfortunately, I have no cards in hand right now. I have used my Forest Seal Stone already, and I have used my Kricketune V ability. So there's not really much I can do now, other than leaving a single prize or inactive and passing. The question is, do we leave the Lunatone inactive? I think I kind of have to, because the Lunatone does stack typings with the other Sylveon, so I think that's the most efficient for us to do. So I think I'll just let the turn pass here, and assuming that only our active gets KO'd here, our opponent moves to 3 prizes, but we get to push our Kricketune. And let's draw for turn. We find your okay. This is not a great top deck whatsoever. Unless I find Peonia like right now. How many active spots are there in Pokemon TCG? Only 1, or like technically 2, but like 1 for you and 1 for your opponents. This is the active spot. This is all the bench. And Skyfield, the stadium in play, allows us to have 8 Pokemon on the bench rather than 5. But it's fine that we drew this, because we can use Exciting Stage to draw until we have 4 cards in our hands. And we draw... I mean, I guess we'll play the Hisuian Heavy Ball to look at our face-down prize cards and reveal a basic Pokemon here, that this is the only option, and shuffle the Hisuian Heavy Ball back into our prizes. So I guess we have access to the Squawkabilly now. I mean, it's an item card, so it doesn't really hinder us in any way. The question is, do we go for Colress? Colress does find us the Ignition Energy that we're looking for. I think that's actually a fine play. Yeah, sure. Let's go for Colress's Tenacity to search our deck for an energy card and a stadium card. Well, the only energies in the deck are Ignition Energy, and the only stadiums in the deck are Skyfield, so that makes the choice very easy. Yeah, 5 bench spots normally, but because of this stadium that we have in play, Skyfield, each player can have 8 Pokemon on their bench. Or it says on his or her bench, but that's old wording. Modern cards do say dare, actually. Yo, TCG being woke? What? No. Let's attach the Ignition Energy to Sylveon. And let's retreat to Kricketune to Sylveon, because it has no retreat thanks to Float Stone. Now the question is, how much damage do we do? Do we want to bench a Squawkabilly for 30 extra damage? That's the question. Let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different types on the bench. So that is 240 extra damage on top of the 70 that we already have. So that's 310 damage. Surely that KO is active, right? 310 damage is surely enough to KO active. So let's assume that we do KO active and take 2 prizes. And Ignition Energy gets discarded at the end of the turn. The big downside of this all is if they have a KO back, then Sylveon VMAX gives up 3 prizes. That's kind of a big deal. So if they have the KO back, then they win the game. Which is sad. But let's assume that they don't. Let's assume they don't have the damage. Let's assume that they have like the Koraidon-EX attack that does 280 damage. I think that's like the closest thing you can come to not KOing this. If we were to be playing against Regidrago V-Star. So yeah, let's assume it's the Koraidon-EX attack. So let's draw a card for turn. And I think that's game then, because we can Versus Seeker for Colress's Tenacity, and then play Colress's Tenacity to search our deck for another Ignition Energy. Yeah, we do have 1 left. I don't think we have any Skyfields left because I discarded quite a bit of them. Yeah, no, that's fine. Not that it matters. Noah, are you proud of me? I watched you 3 times in a row. I'm very proud of you, but honestly, even if you miss a stream, that's fine. I understand that you people have lives. Like, I'm proud of you for getting a watch streak, for sure. And I'm very flattered that you chose me to get a watch streak on, but it's fine if you miss a stream. Like, don't stress it. Don't worry about it. I unfortunately did not find Peonia for cool shenanigans, but that's okay. Let's just bench a Squawk, patch the Ignition, and max out on damage. 340 damage for the last 2 prizes. Of course, that game can go south in very many different ways, but I just assumed what was most likely for my opponent to do. And to be fair, that last turn was kind of a gimme, let's be honest. I probably would have lost that game, but it's okay. I definitely used my Forest Seal Stone way too early into this game, not gonna lie. I think the best course of action is actually to use the ribbon badges on like Sylveon V's that we push active. I think that's probably the best course of action, actually. Pushing Sylveon V's active with ribbon badge to give up 1 prize. If we do that twice, and then do like double Sylveon VMAX, then we're probably Gucci. Latest Clefairy Regidrago matchup? No, we don't need that, bro. We're doing 310, 340, 280 damage easily. We don't need Lily's Clefairy. Weakness? We do not need that, my guy. You like doing damage, okay? I mean, sure. But I think Lily's Clefairy actually actively hurts our game plan because the Sylveon VMAXs are already Psychic types, and so is the Lily's Clefairy. So I don't think we need Lily's Clefairy in this list. I think it would be actively detrimental for this list. Alright, let's flip a coin to check if we're going first or second. Let's say heads is first, tails is second. It is tails, so let's go second. But by the way, make sure you hydrate. Very, very important. And also, what's also incredibly important, if I can type fast, is that we're raising money for Movember this month. Hello? Pokemon Community Game said that that word doesn't exist. That's fine. Don't worry. Anyway, we are raising money for Movember. Most importantly, we are raising awareness for men's mental health this month. So, like I said, don't feel forced to actually donate if you don't have any money to spare. There are some funny incentives and some funny milestones we can reach on that, but the most important part of this month is to raise awareness for men's mental health and how important that is. Anyway, let's do a game going second. Draw our opening 7. Let's see if we have a basic. We do have a basic, but it's not a very good one, unfortunately. This means we don't get the Dark Acid turn 1. We do have Escape Rope here. It's not the end of the world, but this is a little awkward, as we like to call it. This is not a great opening hand. Gotta buy a new PC so you're broke. Yeah, like I said, do not feel forced to donate if you do not have the facilities to. And even if you do, like, I'm not forcing you to donate, I'm just forcing people to be aware that this is a thing. That's what the most important part is. Let's say, going second, we definitely want to bench this Kricketune. I think we even want to Escape Rope into the Kricketune, if I'm gonna be honest. That feels very good. Let's Ultra Ball away Big Parasol and Ignition Energy. I just want to check prizes. I will flip them over. There's 2 Ignition Energy prize. That's really rough. Also 2 Quick Ball, 1 Sylveon V, and 1 versus Seeker. That's okay. 2 Ignition kind of stinks, but the rest of the prizes are mostly fine. Okay, so what are we grabbing with the Ultra Ball? Especially since I discarded this now. Are we grabbing the Dedenne off of this? I think we are. I think we are grabbing the Dedenne. Well, it's probably better to grab Squawk, actually. because I might want to use the Dedenne on a future turn. That's the downside of this deck, is you don't really have any good Pokemon pickup. You're just kind of dependent on your opponents bumping your Skyfield and then potentially recovering those Pokemon. There we go. The Ultra Ball for the Squawkabilly. Let's bench the Squawkabilly. Let's also Skyfield. Rescue Stretcher can't really be used at the moment. No. I do want a Kricketune V first to draw until we have 4 cards in hand. This is fine. It's actually completely fine. Quick balling away the Sylveon VMAX here so we can Rescue Stretcher that into the deck before we Squawk. That's actually huge. I think I actually want to maybe grab a Dedenne with this. That's probably a little too greedy. Probably a little too greedy. Let's just go grab a Sylveon V here. And bench that. I think that's probably the safest, but I do not need to be shuffling because we're going to play this Rescue Stretcher to shuffle this back. God, I love this song. It's so... I love this song too, bro! Oh my god. Right. Let's give it a good shuffle-a-dokey. And rip that Squawk and Seize to discard the Skyfield in our hands. And draw 6 cards. We are yet to play a supporter, so we have to consider that. This is actually really good. I can Secret Box away the Skyfield, the Field Blower, and the Iono. To go grab Ignition for sure, and Skyfield for sure. Yeah, these two are givens. I don't know what supporter I specifically want, but I definitely grab Adventure Bag here. Pokemon Ranger, maybe? No, we need Roseanne's backup, actually, in the near future. Yeah, we're gonna do it like this. There we go. We're then gonna play Adventure Bag. See, we Escape Rope the Kricketune to the active. So we can still grab Float Stone Ribbon Badge here. We want to. Let's grab the real Float Stone. I only own 1 Float Stone, unfortunately. That card is like $10. Like, why the fuck is Float Stone $10? Squawk and Squeeze? Did I say Squawk and Squeeze? That's really funny. I don't think that's the first time I've ever said that, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that's the first time I've ever said that. But this Adventure Bag is really, really big. This is why Adventure Bag is such a good one-off in this deck, because you can just attach Float Stone here, attach Ribbon Badge here, and just retreat the Kricketune into Sylveon V to just have a 1-prizer inactive that has 200 HP. And we have Roseanne's backup for next turn. I didn't even play a supporter yet, can you believe that? I don't think... actually, no, I do want to play Roseanne's backup this turn, actually. Yeah. We're kind of getting... Okay, so we can definitely shuffle back a Stadium and an Energy. That's definitely what we're going to do. We can also shuffle back a Tool and a Pokemon. I don't think those are options for us right now. No, I can shuffle back Big Parasol, actually. And I think I want to do that. But that's mostly because 2 of my Ignition Energy are priced, so I definitely need to recover this. Oh, you say Squawk and Squeeze. Okay. Well, that's funny. I like that. I might adopt that. Every time I say Pheasant Skibbity instead of Pheasantipity as well. And I say Flippity to Scrippity. I don't know why. I like brain rot. Alright. Even though we started Crobat, this turn actually didn't go awfully. And it's also nice that we have another Skyfield in deck right now, because there's one in hand and in play, and in discard. So that's the only Skyfield in deck now. It's like some people said, Tickling Curse instead of Ticking Curse on Solrock V-Star. Oh yeah, that's right. That is true. And finally, let's use Dream Gift to search our deck for an item card, put it into our hand, and end our turn using that ability. So what item card do we want? There's a Sylveon V in the prizes, so it's probably best to just grab Hisuian Heavy Ball. I was thinking about grabbing Quick Ball, but if there's a Sylveon V in the prizes anyway, then Hisuian Heavy Ball is just better. Alright, let's remove all of these, and let's assume our opponent has a KO on the Sylveon V inactive. But they only take one prize from that, because we have a Ribbon Badge. Leave this here. Push up our Kricketune, and draw a card for turn. Let's think. Definitely gonna play Heavy Ball to get the Sylveon V from the prizes. Oh, sorry, I should put this at 5 because they have 5 prizes from the game. Bench the Sylveon V. And I think at this point I do have to Colress. So we have 3 Pokemon on our bench. So we're drawing at least 3 from the Colress. Let's say our opponent has something similar, so we get like 6 cards from this. I think 6 is relevant from this. We try Frost for 3 prizes to win the game with Regidrago. Satisfaction. I hate when Regidrago players do that. I mean, good for you. Good for you that you're doing that, but I'm so sick and tired of Trifrost in Expanded, man. Holy shit. Right. Yeah, let's say 6. 6 is probably a relatively normal number. Why am I redrawing the Pokemon Ranger? That's so useless here. Also, I drew into like 3 supporters here. Special Charge is useless. Ultra Ball is like the only active card I have here. This is so silly. I'll discard. I can't even use the Special Charge, right? Because there's no special energy in my discard. Okay, what am I grabbing off the Ultra Ball? I really don't want to grab DD Change because DD Change discards what I have in hand, and I don't want that either. I think I just grab Radiant Eternatus maybe. Actually, yeah, that's probably for the... it's difficult to say. Radiant Eternatus feels really awkward here. I think I'm just gonna grab a Sylveon V, another one. And then hope I draw into... Well, I'm not gonna draw into jack shit actually when I only draw 1 card off of the exciting stage anyway. So I might as well not draw anything from it. Let's just go grab a Radiant Eternatus. This is a very scuffed game, I will tell you that. A very scuffed game. Here's a Sylveon V in discard, yeah. I think the best way I could end my turn here is by we retreat into the Sylveon V. Difficult. I think we do retreat into the Sylveon V. And then play Radiant Eternatus triggering Climactic Gate. Search our deck for 2 Pokemon VMAX to put them on the bench. And grab 2 Sylveon VMAX to put on the bench. I think that's probably our best course of action. Unfortunately, I do think that once again means that it's Sylveon V's end. That's okay though, not to worry. I draw 4 Seal Stone, that's big. That's a really big for a Seal Stone. Let's first do Exciting Stage to draw 1. That's the most useless card I could have gotten off my deck. That's crazy. Let's go use 4 Seal Stone. What do I want from 4 Seal Stone? Just Ignition? Ignition doesn't really do much. Of course, Nasty in deck I do, but even that doesn't really do much. I need like a fat draw. I think I have Versus Seeker still, right? I want a Colress, yeah. I want to Colress this garbage hand away. Actually, if I want to get this garbage hand away, I might as well go for Iono. Iono is much better here. Or is Iono priced or discarded already? Did I skip over Iono? Where's Iono? Did I discard Iono already? Oh, I did discard Iono already. Okay, so I have to grab Versus Seeker here. Off of the 4 Seal Stone. Radiant Eternatus, my goat. Yeah, I know, right? It's actually a real Radiant Eternatus. I love this card. It's so silly. It's like aggressively mid, but it's so silly. Okay, so let's Versus Seeker for Iono. Do I want to play anything before that Iono? No. This hand is so garbo. Like, these are useful cards in certain situations. Just not any of the situations I'm in right now. Let's see, okay, I do draw into Ignition, which is big. I definitely do want to attack this turn, so... definitely doing that. Let's think. So let's bench Mr. Mime and Solrock to boost our damage. Do I want a Quick Ball? Here's the question. How much damage do we have in play here if this goes to active? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6, 7. God, I hate that. 7 times 30 is 210, plus 70 is 280. So that's actually enough for the KO, so I don't actually need to Quick Ball this specific turn. I can just hard retreat into Sylveon and swing. The sad part is that I don't have a Ribbon Badge for this. But it's 310 HP, surely they don't KO this, right? I thought you were better than that. Listen, I work with kids occasionally, okay? Sometimes I hear that and it corrupts my brain. Did I watch the donk video? It's popped. Oh yeah, I did watch the donk video. I did watch it. I must say your opponents were a little incompetent in the donk video, but it was still really fun to watch. Alright, yeah, let's just swing for 2 prizes. Oh, nice. We found another Ignition. Speaking of, this one gets discarded. Let's say they don't have a KO on this, they have like a Phantom Dive or something. Phantom Dive. They can spread 60 to other places on the bench, so let's... They probably have like 1 here. What's a common number for them to hit? Probably have like 1 here, 3 here, 1 here, and then 1 somewhere else. Let's say 1 on the Kricketune. I thought you were better than that. Incompetent house. Like, your opponent's playing very weird decks. Although, was that another? Maybe that was another video of yours. I don't know. Dude, I watch way too much I watch way too much TCG content. I might be confusing it with another video of yours. As in I didn't bench any Pokemon, or no... Well... Yeah, no, I'm definitely thinking of a different video, because I was remembering like a very weird back and forth with weird Pokemon. So it's definitely not the Dunk video, actually. I think it was the Balafin video, maybe? I'm not entirely... Not that it matters. Not that it matters. Yeah, that was their turn. So let's draw for turn. You draw Marnie. It's very juicy. Let's attach Ignition. Actually, it's probably a Guzma. I never saw one, but I don't think I have Guzma in discard. I don't. Yeah, the Paladin video flopped, but yeah, sure. I didn't mean to say that the video flopped, but it was more or less just asking, like, did your opponents actually play the same game? I think I do want a Quick Ball here. Quick Ball away to Colress. So we can get a Dedenne. Dedenne still discards a lot of Ignition, which I don't want. I think I Quick Ball 4. Doesn't really matter to me. Let's just grab the Lunatone since that's the most disruptive for this bench. Actually, that's a lie. Lunatone doesn't really do much here, if anything. It's probably better to grab the Volk. Alright. Quick Ball has been executed. Yeah, I don't think I have a Guzma play here. My Escape Rope has been used turn 1, so I think I have to attack with active. So let's Marnie. Draw 5 more. Ooh, we found Ribbon Badge. Big. Ribbon Badge is really big. I'll hold the Special Charge for next turn. It's a 2-2 prize map. The Jirachi doesn't really do anything, so I'm down to Ultra Ball away, Ultra Ball and Jirachi. Yet, I don't really need another Sylveon VMAX, so I guess I will grab the Lunatone, or I can grab the Dedenne for next turn. Actually, that's probably better. Yeah. You gonna play your switch for a bit? Yeah, Slake King, go for it. Not me saying slaking and then it sounds like the Pokemon slacking. That's like the opposite of what I meant. I meant slaking as like 2 separate words. You know what I meant. The Jirachi actually goes to Lost Zone because it's prisoners. Yeah, we can hold this in hand and let's swing for another 2 prizes. Quick Ball, Heavy Ball, okay. Ignition gets discarded, of course. And if they do have a KO... Oh wait, actually wait. Yeah, this is... No, this is not... This is damage done by attacks. This is not effective attacks. Never mind. Yeah, so let's say they grab a KO on a Sylveon VMAX for 2 Roises. Not enough to KO though. So let's push the Kricketune. Whoop! And I just draw into Ignition Energy. That's so raw. I just have what I need already. But I'm gonna go a little bit further. I'm gonna thin out the Sylveon V out of my deck. Slaking is good in Expanded now? Yeah. It's probably like the best version of EvoCon. The best version of EvoCon is EvoCon with Slaking, probably. Slacking. It's actually called Slacking, not Slaking. But it's definitely a solid card, for sure. Then we Special Charge. This does not matter at all, what I'm doing. I already have game in hand. But, or like on board, even. I'm still gonna schmoove. It's funnier to find a Guzma this turn than to find just a retreat, you know? Let's rip the DAA change. Draw 6. Was it actually better to do exciting stage first? I don't think it matters. No, it does matter because I don't see those cards now. Yeah, wait, hold on. So I'm gonna put these back in the exact same order. I want to see what changes if I use exciting stage first. So I draw these two. These are two useless cards, of course. Then I DAA change. I mean, I didn't know that they were useless cards, but... And then I draw 6. So I still see these 4, but I also see Guzma. See? That's the gamer difference. Pardon me. Let's swing for 340 damage. Off of the Guzma. That's so big. Dude, I love this deck. It's so funny. Rainbow Road is not very good, but it's really funny. And that's what matters. Like, I feel like this always hard loses to Regidrago and Lugia, but... Well, maybe not Lugia, but definitely to Regidrago. Alright, since there is a break right now, or like, there will be an ad in like 12 minutes, I think I will rip the ad break. And I'll also show you guys a video on Movember, because we're in an ad break, because why not? So please hang tight for that.
Movember is really important to me because they're horrible attempt at a mustache saved my life.
And as we say, we give a shit.
But it means more than that. It's about having erection, maintaining an erection.
Part of the process is physical examinations. You're going to have some people you don't know quite well undertaking an intimate physical examination of your testicles and your lymph nodes. But this is just part of the process, and this is how you get better. And it's important to keep up with these examinations after you have surgery. You can't push them to the side. You need to make sure you stay on top of the stuff as well. For me, after I found out, at that stage it all becomes sort of white noise. From there on in, things became quite difficult. Sort of you don't really understand the process because it's quite an overwhelming thing to deal with. The most important thing at that stage really is to have faith in your medical team. You really need to get a team behind you and listen to their advice as well. it's an important part of the process. So the day of the surgery, I woke up nice and early, didn't get a great night's sleep because there's obviously some stress surrounded by the surgery itself. Went down to the hospital and you meet with the surgeon just beforehand, talk about what's going to happen, and then lying on the gurney, you're put to sleep, and that's the last thing I remember for the surgery until a couple hours later when I woke up, and then the next morning I was released and to have my recovery at home. One day I noticed that my right testicle was slightly firmer than it had been previously, but I thought, oh well, I better get it checked out. Went to my GP and she didn't have really many concerns about it, but had decided, well, why don't we just make sure and get an ultrasound. While having that scan, the radiologist went and consulted with somebody else. Unfortunately that person was an oncologist, and they gave me the news that I had cancer.
So testicular cancer in a population level is considered a rare cancer, but it's actually the most common cancer in young men, and it's a really important cancer because it affects men in the prime of their life. It originates from, when we talk about testicular cancer, we're normally talking about germ cell cancers, which is a type of cell within the testicle that becomes sperm. Unlike other cancers, testicular cancer is very curable. The testicles, most people don't know this, but the testicles start out in your abdomen. And as an embryo, they kind of migrate down into your scrotum. And so when testicular cancer spreads, if it does spread, it spreads back to where it came from and often goes to the lymph glands in the abdomen.
Right, gamers, I am back. We can play like 1 or 2 more games with this list. See if we can maybe like get a cool Peonia player, a cool turn 1 Eternatus play. We'll see. Let's flip the coins first to see if we get first or second. I don't know why we're out of vision a little bit. Oh, that went off camera, but it's heads. So we are gonna do this turn going first. Game going first, let's say. I forgot to turn back on my music. Give me a second. I always forget this. Alright, we have our opening 7. And we start Genesect, actually. Okay, it's fine. Let's lay down our 6 prizes. Flip over Genesect and off return. I already have Float Stone in hand, and it's kind of like the optimal tool for Genesect, so I'm not complaining on that whatsoever. I think what I'll do is I'll Quick Ball away Field Blower. It's a prize check. Let's see, we prized the other Float Stone. That's kind of big. But also Quick Ball for Seal Stone. This pricing is kind of rough. Pricing is really rough, actually. I mean, it does. What this does come down to is that we are definitely drawing good cards from our prizes. But I think what this means is that we have to grab Radiant Eternatus from our deck here, from our Quick Ball. I think it's actually probably better to Quick Ball away the Sylveon VMAX in general, not the Field Blower. Yeah, just in general, yeah, just hold on to it. Bench Radiant Eternatus and go for Climactic Gate to bench 2 VMAX Pokemon from our deck onto the bench. Where are they? They're both here. Great. That scared me for a second. I was like, did I not price check correctly? But no, they are definitely here. As you can see, right here. Unfortunately, I did not have a chance to retreat Genesect, but that's okay. It's turn 1 going second, surely they can't KO this, or they won't. Puts them on a bad price trade as well. Could have definitely ripped the Adventure back as well last turn, but I wanted to hold off for now. Not many tools in our deck anyway. I do draw into Sylveon V, that's awesome, albeit a little bit awkward. So let's go for Adventure Bag to grab double Ribbon Badge. I think that's our top priority right now. Just to make these Sylveon VMAXs into 2 prizers. Or Steel Stone is priced anyway. Second Float Stone is priced anyway, so the only other tool in here is the Big Parasol, which doesn't really do anything for us. Shuffle. And if they've had like a turn 1 with Squawk, then we can actually do like pretty meaningful damage to their board. If they Squawked or Detonate on their first turn, which is very likely, in that case I will Sylveon VMAX. We can Guzma that up towards Sylveon VMAX. And attach Ignition Energy to swing for, this is 160, right? Because I have 3 different types of Pokemon on bench, yeah. Just 160, which is enough to KO that fella for 2 prizes, which is crazy. And I get Ignition off that and Float Stone, that's pretty big. Right, so let's say on turn, this is turn 2 for them, they do KO my Sylveon VMAX. And take 2 prizes from that. Let's draw for turn. I am definitely going to Ignition Energy. We want to attack this turn for sure. I think I'm gonna Ultra Ball away this Float Stone and Field Blower actually. And get myself... What do I want to get? Not Squawk, that's for certain. I wanted to grab the Dedenne, but I forgot it was priced, so I guess we're grabbing Crobat. Crobat might be better actually here than the Dedenne, yeah. Crobat, because the Dedenne will always draw 6, whereas Crobat definitely doesn't always draw 6. Alright, let's bench the Crobat to trigger Dark Acid. Draw 2, 5, 6. Don't have Skyfield in play yet, and we haven't found one yet either. That's a little awkward, but I have Chorus here. I think I will use Chorus. For Ignition Skyfield. Should be another Ignition Energy in the deck, right? No? There are no other Ignition Energy in the deck? Did I just do I have 2 in discard then? I have 1 in discard. I already have 1 in hand. I search for 1 here. Is the other one also priced? Still have Special Charge, so it's not big of a deal. I just blind. Not blind. The other one is also priced. Then I think I didn't grab Ignition from prizes. Might be tripping. No, I definitely didn't grab Ignition from prizes, because otherwise I would have discarded it. I think I grabbed Ultra Ball Float Stone. Yeah. Anyway, we're grabbing these 2 from Colress. Definitely developing the Skyfield so that we have a little bit more wiggle room. We are also benching Lunatone here. Also benching Mr. Mime here. And we kind of have to quick ball for Volcanion to grab a KO here, right? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 15, 2 to 20. kind of want to hit the 280, so we have to quick ball for Canyon. Could technically quick ball for the Kricketune, but that's very risky, especially judging from the search cards that are still in deck. Alright. Oh yeah, I have access to all ignitions, because I already attached return. I forgot about that. Okay, let's retreat into the Sylveon. Swing for 2 more prizes. Oh, there's 4 Steel Stone and Secret Box. Those are big. Very big. End of turn, discards ignition. Let's say they have a KO on Sylveon. That would indeed prizes. Genesect. Definitely going to Steel Stone here. Definitely using ignition here. Actually, no. I think I have to secret box these 2 ignitions away. Squawk, just so I can have the option finding other stuff, but I definitely have to grab Special Charge. I think these 3 are a must. Special Charge, Big Parasol, Skyfield. Let's see. Grab Marnie. Ideally I want Colress, yeah. Yeah. Let's go grab Colress. Then I'll play this Special Charge to shuffle back these 2 ignition energies into the deck. That's a given. Big Parasol can go on the Radiant Eternatus. Doesn't really matter. Actually, it's probably best on the Sylveon. And then the Colress, so we shuffle the Skyfield back into deck. We have 6 bench Pokemon. Our opponent probably has like 3 or 4 at this rate. Let's say 3. So let's draw 9 cards off the Colress. We just need to find one of Sylveon VMAX or Ignition here. And we do find that. That's big. We can Rescue Stretcher for the Sylveon VMAX. Put it on there. Did I also find the Ignition energy? I didn't, but that's okay. Because I can V-Star for the Ignition energy. Let's see how much damage we can stack this turn. So we can bench Solrock. We can still Ultra Ball away the Sylveon and Skyfield for another Pokemon. Kricketune, sure. This is 8, yeah. This is 8. Escape Rope. No, wait. Yeah, we Float Stone into the Kricketune. Can't really toss these cards actually, that's kind of sad. It's already supported for turn, so I wanted to Kricketune, good measure, but I can't. That's okay. Let's Escape Rope into the Sylveon VMAX. And I still can't Kricketune, even though I'm -1 card. That's really funny. Let's swing with Max Harmony for the game. That was a clean game actually, even though my opener was really bad. That was kind of a clean game. I think that's maybe because of the turn 1 Radiant Eternatus setup. It was solid. Definitely a good alternative to the Dream Gift turn. Dream Gift for Secret Box is also really good turn 1. But this is also like very solid. Because you don't have to waste quick balls or ultra balls on Sylveon Vs. Or VMAXs for that matter. Alright, let's do like, I don't know, 1 or 2 more games. Flip a coin. If heads first, if tails second. It is heads, so we are going first. So let's draw 7 cards. Once again, a reminder that we are raising money for Movember this month. So the most important part that I want to take away from this is to raise awareness for men's physical and mental health. These are 8 cards. That's better. Alright, let's see. We open Squawk. Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world. We have Heavy Ball in opener. Definitely not terrible. Okay, let's open this up and draw a card for turn. We even have Escape Rope in open. Let's Sui and Heavy Ball. There is a basic in here, which is Volcanion-EX. Let's see, what's the rest? 1 Ignition, 1 Roseanne's backup. Okay. The Field Blower is annoying, I guess, but it's not the worst thing in the world. You have to keep in mind that 1 Ignition is prize, so I can technically go all out here. I think I will. Actually, going all out here is very awkward. Definitely bench the Volcanion. Quick Ball the Ignition. Kricketune, probably. Escape Rope the Kricketune to active. And play Adventure Bag. Get Float Stone. And other Float Stone, maybe? Zone. Yeah, I think it's just 1 Float Stone that we grab here. I think that is correct. Although if you want to fin, it's probably better to grab 2. Alright, shuffle it up. Attach Float Stone here, attach Float Stone here. You have fucking 3 retreats. Then we Exciting Dance for 3. Okay. Now we can Ultra Ball away these. Sylveon V. Yeah. Sylveon V. Shuffle the deck. Bench Sylveon V, attach your Ribbon Badge. Go for Squawk and Squeeze. Draw 6. We find another Sylveon V, that's huge. No supporters, of course, because it's turn 1. Again, bench the Mr. Mime. Don't think I want to Ultra Ball for anything at this point. I think I'm just gonna Dream Gifts. Or what card are we gonna do? Or what item? Maybe Versus Seeker, because I ditched an Iono. Let's think. A Quick Ball. So I already have Chorus. I think Quick Ball is correct. Oh, actually, I do have to consider. Sorry, I forgot to retreat into the Sylveon V. Alright. This was turn 1 going first, so surely they don't have a KO here, and I'll just go about my turn 2 normally. Oh, I draw into this. That's so disgusting. I think that means that I'm not gonna play Colress this turn. I think that means I'm gonna Ultra Ball away the Colress and a Jirachi for the Sylveon VMAX. 100%. Or 100%. Oh wait, that might have broken a sleeve. That did not sound good. We're fine for now, but it did not sound good. If I'm a little more rough like that on the sleeves, then one is gonna break. 100%. Okay, so Ultra Ball Colress go here. Jirachi goes to the Lost Zone. I end up not needing the Quick Ball. Actually, it's probably better to use that Quick Ball. Some way, shape, or form. Yeah. Because what basic do I not need here? To be honest, I don't really need Radiant Eternatus anymore, so what I can do is I can Quick Ball away one of those ingredients. Like, let's say I Quick Ball away the Colress for the order. Yeah, Quick Ball away the Ultra Ball for Eternatus, and Ultra Ball away the Eternatus and the Colress for the Sylveon VMAX. I do want to Exciting Stage first. Yeah, awesome. I can Rescue Stretcher some things back that I just yeeted away. Actually, it's probably better to just grab this and bench it and not trigger the ability. And then let's bench the Dedenne and rip it. Draw 6. Hey, we found another Ribbon Badge. That's big. Ribbon Badge here is big. These are 4 supporters. Holy fuck, bro. Can't really do much else of anything right here, but that's okay. We're doing a lot of damage. This is definitely enough for a KO, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 310 damage. That surely is enough to prize knockout. But what if they bump my stadium? Oh wait, I forgot to discard the ignition. What if they bump my stadium? Oh no. I will definitely discard Eternatus. And I will discard Dedenne. Actually, it's probably better to discard Squawk and Dedenne. Okay, I will draw for turn. Like, I'm assuming they don't KO me here. Is that relevant? They might actually. I think they probably do KO here. Go to Kricketune to go to 4. Fetch Ignition here. I did top deck Secret Box, which is nutty. We're definitely re-establishing the Sky Fields. Secret Box away. Salvatore and Ranger and Peonia. To get these 2 for sure. Horse is nasty still. No, I think I discarded that. Okay. What supporters do I still have in here? Guzma. Oh, I have 4 Steelstone, we're fine. My Marnie only. Okay. Wait, am I fine? 4 Steelstone? I don't think I am. Yeah, because I don't have a V Pokemon. Oh wait, yeah, a V Pokemon without Tool. Kind of an issue, actually. Oh, I have regular Colress in hand. Okay. That changes things up a little bit. Definitely want to Special Charge. Actually, was the Special Charge necessary for this turn? I don't think so. I think it would have been maybe better to grab Ultra Ball. And surely find Ultra Ball off of my Marnie or my Colress. I think I will use Marnie. Draw 5. Yeah, okay. Fine. Solrock. Actually, hold on. I want to bench my... I don't want to burn my VS Seeker, so I'm going to Ultra Ball away Skyfield and Solrock. Find Crobat. Actually, Sylveon VMAX is more important than Crobat here. Am I doing enough damage is the question here. What other Pokemon are discarded? Oh, Dedenne is. I don't really want to rip at the Dedenne here, ideally. Oh wait, I don't have to. I can just Rescue Stretcher for VMAX. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine, we're fine. We're chilling. So we make this Ultra Ball. The Rescue Stretcher for Sylveon VMAX in hand. Other Rescue Stretcher is burned, so I do have to take note of that. Then we can just rip the Crobat and draw 5. Actually, hold on. Before ripping the Crobat, let's first do the exciting stage. Because this way we get to bench another Sylveon before ripping the Crobat. Seeing as extra cards. Right. Let's Quick Ball away the Big Parasol. I don't know if there's more basic Pokemon in my deck. Probably some Sylveon Vs. Oh wait, there's a Lunatone. Bro, this is fucking... what is it? Turn 2? No, this is turn 3. Yeah, this is turn 3 and I'm already almost through my deck. This is crazy. Lunatone doesn't really help with damage, but it does help with thinning. Genesect, however, does help with damage. These are all not playable right now. I mean, I can technically play VS Seeker, but it doesn't matter. What does matter is that we're swinging here for big fat fucking prizes. It's like 310, I think. Yeah, it's 310. Draw 2 prizes. And Ignition gets discarded end of turn. Yeah, we did play the Special Charge last turn, yeah, so we're fine. So let's say this gets yeeted. And we are going down to... they're going down to 2 prizes as well. And I draw Quick Ball. We don't need Heavy Ball, because I'm pretty sure these are not. It's a Sylveon VMAX and Energy. That being a Sylveon VMAX is actually quite a lot. There's how many discards? 1 actually, right? Yeah, there's 1 Sylveon VMAX in deck still. I don't think this Quick Ball achieves anything other than thinning my hands. No. That's okay though. We need to thin our hand because we need to Colress for game here. Then we Field Blower. Then we Colress. We have 7 Pokemon on our bench. So we're drawing at least 7 from the Colress. Let's say we draw 9. That they have 2 bench Pokemon or something, maybe even 1. Let's just draw the 7, see how much of this matters. I do find the Ignition and the VMAX, so none of this matters. I even have the Forest Seal Stone, which we can use to find dance back up. This was a checkmate at this point anyway. Let's retreat and swing for the big win. Hell yeah. How much time do we have? Okay. We can probably do one more game. I think that's fine, right? We can do uno más. Let's just do a game going first. Draw 7. Ooh, Battle VIP Pass. Oh, let's fucking go. The notes. Draw. VIP Pass. I do want to check my... The thing is, I have a lot of supporters in hand, so... Not... Okay, so double VS Seeker is priced, and there's a Ribbon Badge price. That's a little awkward. Okay, so what will double VIP Pass grab me? Probably Squawk. Double VS Seeker is priced. Squawk Kricketune is correct. No. I think Squawk Kricketune is correct. I can also just chill turn 1. I know that's unheard of, but no, we can't chill turn 1. Can't. We're not allowed to. We're not allowed to chill turn 1. Float Stone here. Ultra Ball away. Ranger Roseanne's back up. This. Robots. Go. Bench Crobats. For Dark Assets, drawing 4. Oh, this is a little awkward. I think I'm actually not gonna Squawk now that I'm seeing this. This is abysmal. Oh my lord. I have full send, but that means I have like almost no supporters left for game. So I'll just go for a Dream Gifts. Grabbing Adventure Bat. And let's assume that they don't have anything to KO that turn 1 going second. I think that's reasonable to assume. Bench Volcanion. Evolve to Sylveon VMAX. Need Adventure back here. Grab me Ribbon Badge. Seal Stone. Yeah. Ribbon Badge and Seal Stone. Ribbon Badge here. Seal Stone here. Mission Energy here. I really don't want a Secret Box here. I really actually do want to hit the Skyfield, so I'm gonna Colress for it. Still doing decent damage, if I'm gonna be honest. Do I want to Force Seal Stone now? Probably not. Oh my god, these leaves are breaking slowly. Definitely heard something rip here. Right. I'm gonna hold the Skyfield for now, I think. Let's just swing with Sylveon VMAX for, how much is this? It's 220. This definitely KOs out at Battle V. Or Gucci. Did I discard Salvatore earlier this turn? I haven't. Salvatore is still a play that I can do. So I took my 2 prizes. I'm assuming Sylveon VMAX goes down. Putting my opponent to 4 prizes. Let's draw for turn. At least we have Skyfield. This. I'm actually not sure if we want to Master Mime. I want a Secret Box here, actually. Let's ditch Guzma. What I want is Skyfield. That's given. Quick Ball. I want Salvatore. Where's Salvatore? Salvatore's so big here. Are there any tools left? Is what I'm wondering. There is. There's a Float Stone. Big Parasol. Let's go grab Float Stone. Or sorry, Big Parasol. That's the least consequential right now. Quick Ball away to Big Parasol. Go grab a Sylveon V to bench, which I can attach the Ignition Energy to. And place Salvatore as my supporter for turn. Evolve into Sylveon VMAX. Nice. Probably need to use this V-Star marker. Oh wait, I don't have any other Sylveon V here? Oh, I do, okay. So, quick search, or sorry. What's it called again? Star Alchemy for that. And Quick Ball or Sylveon V, just in case, as backup. I think that's correct. Right, sadly no Ribbon Badge here. That's okay. I can still go for an Exciting Dance here. A draw into second Guzma. Oh wait, actually I draw 2 from that, yeah. Peonia is there. Let's retreat into the Sylveon VMAX and rip Max Harmony for another 2 prizes. There's the other. What is that? I mean, if they KO active, they're on 1 prize, so I have to game here without Forest Seal Stone. So let's see how well this goes. Let's see, how many Maxes are in these cards? I think 3, yeah. Need Rescue Stretcher. 1 of the 2. Need 1 of the 2 Rescue Stretchers. Attach Ribbon Badge here to thin out. Let's bench a Jirachi Prism Star and thin out. I'm not sure if I want a Yes Seeker. Yes Seeker options are Salvatore, Guzma, Colress, Roseanne. Really help Ian. None of these help me whatsoever, so if the Yes Seeker is kind of useless here, I have to Colress. Let's assume there's like 8 Pokemon in total in play at this point, maybe 9, let's say 8. So we draw 8 off the Colress. 3, 6, 8. I redrew Peonia and Guzma. That's awesome. I love this game. Okay, let's Ultra Ball away Peonia. No, wait, hold on. I have another Ultra Ball, we're fine in doing this. Yeah. Grab, whoopsie, Solrock. Yep. Ultra Ball the... Not Solrock and Lunatone, let's do Skyfield and Lunatone. Oh, whoops. My hand fell onto my... Actually, no, I need to hold this. What am I doing? Hold these cards. I need to Rescue Stretcher first. It's a Rescue Stretcher back. Sylveon VMAX. Mr. Mime. Let's say Sylveon V. I have to do 3, unfortunately. And we Ultra Ball away Solrock and Sky. I need to Ultra Ball away the Lunatone because I have Psychic options here. For the Sylveon VMAX. That's one part of the equation. So close, bro. We're so close. Then we bench the Solrock. Then we go for exciting stage to draw 3 cards. You already played Supporter. You can Ultra Ball away Iono versus Seeker. Grab Mr. Mime. Yeah. We bench the Mr. Mime, then we bench the Dedenne triggering DAA change. We find our the deck the best of our abilities. And we did not find Ignition Energy. That is so sad. How many Ignitions are in this card? 1, 2. And how many are in prizes? I think just 1. No. We have Genesect here, bro. Genesect is chilling here. And how the heckies did I whiff the mission? That's so sad. I guess what I can do is like escape rope bait them. Whoops. Into the Sylveon VMAX. Into maybe something that has Float Stone. And then Field Blower that Float Stone. Yeah, other than that, this doesn't really do anything. So I'm gonna have to pass here and hope they don't knock me out. They probably do, but if they don't knock me out, I can draw for turn and play via Seeker. Or Colress is just optimal. Yeah. Play the Colress. So we shuffle our hand into the deck. And we draw at least 8. At least 8. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. There's the ignition. But probably like 9 or 10. Yeah. See, there were 2 ignitions in the list. Dude, I hate this game sometimes. That's okay. Alright. I think that's more than enough for today. This is a fun list for sure. Is it good? No. Is it fun? Oh hell yeah. It's so fun to play. Let's just give it one last good shuffle. I know that card is missing, but I want that card to be on the top. I'll stay enough with y'all. Boop. Thanks everyone so much for chilling here. I'll go find us someone to raid, okay? I'm bringing my mic with me to the PC. As you can hear me, you can probably hear me rolling away, right? All right. Let's see who is live right now. Let's open Twitch. First and foremost, let's thank everyone for watching today. Really appreciate every single one of you. If you're watching on YouTube, stream will be ending, but if you're watching on Twitch, we will probably look for someone to raid. Let's see. Is there actually another Movember live right now other than Ro? I don't think so. Let's just check. No. I have to spread the November love. Alright, thanks everyone so much for hanging out. Next stream will be likely either Saturday or Sunday. Not entirely sure how my Saturday schedule is looking. I prefer to do the weekly Commander match on Saturday, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not entirely sure on how it goes, but if you join the Pokemon Commander Discord, you'll be, once again, up to date for every single part of that. I guess I'll put that one in, mix it up, just make sure that the YouTube site also gets that. There you go. Alright. Thanks everyone so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the other side. Peace.
Down here, salt is a way of life.